Society loves a perfectionist. We celebrate the person who stays late, obsesses over every single detail, and refuses to accept anything short of absolute excellence. Curious, slightly hushed. But look closer at that same person. Behind closed doors, you usually find chronic exhaustion, a constant hum of anxiety, and a surprising lack of actual finished work. They are caught in a state of elegant paralysis. They spend years researching an idea, rewriting the first chapter, or tweaking a design, but they never actually launch. They look incredibly busy while carefully avoiding the first real step. The refusal to release anything until it is flawless is an unconscious, highly effective strategy for self-sabotage. The Swiss psychiatrist Carl Gustav Jung observed this behavior closely, concluding that the obsession with details is actually a deeply rooted defense mechanism. Jung believed the human mind constructs a persona, a highly polished social mask designed to help us navigate society and deflect judgment. For the perfectionist, an irreproachable public image acts as a shield. They use the appearance of high standards to hide parts of themselves they believe are unsafe to expose to the world. Jung's clinical work suggests a much deeper purpose for this mask. It acts as a permanent barrier, keeping us locked in the safety of our perceived limitations to avoid the massive responsibility that comes with our actual strength. To understand why our capability is frightening, we must look past the outer shell and descend into the mind's deepest layers. Jung called this the shadow, an unconscious repository where we banish parts of our identity we refuse to accept. Most people assume this space is strictly a container for traumatic memories, shameful vices, and dark flaws. But the shadow also houses our unlived potential. It holds immense capabilities, intense creative energy, and brilliant talents that the ego simply finds too overwhelming to carry. The perfectionist keeps their greatest gifts locked away in the dark, because acknowledging that talent means giving up the comfort of staying small. Recognizing what you are capable of forces you to confront all the time wasted and the opportunities missed while pretending you weren't ready. Stepping into that power also invites an intense societal burden. Success brings immediate scrutiny, suffocating expectations from others, and inevitable hostility from those who feel threatened by someone who dares to stand out. The pursuit of perfection provides a socially admired alibi. It gives you a bulletproof excuse for never launching your project or taking a real risk because it isn't quite right yet. Staying in a state of eternal preparation is a calculated psychological trench.
It keeps you safe, insulated, and entirely free from the heavy responsibilities that come with utilizing your true power. Keeping all that potential trapped carries a severe mechanical cost. Psychic energy meant for creation cannot simply evaporate. If it isn't directed outward into the world, it turns back in on itself. This trapped pressure manifests in daily life as a constant low-level panic. It fuels harsh self-criticism, constant chronic anxiety, and a gnawing feeling of emptiness, even when the person appears successful to everyone else. It creates a toxic relationship with failure. Because the perfectionist's identity relies entirely on their flawless facade, a minor mistake isn't processed as a useful lesson. It feels like a catastrophic blow to who they are. The obsessive pursuit of a flawless existence guarantees an unlived life, leaving the individual entirely disconnected from their authentic self. Jung oozed a way out through a process he called individuation, the journey of integrating all fragmented parts of the psyche. The energy once used for self-sabotage is released to fuel creative action in the real world. The practical application of this theory requires you to deliberately act before you feel fully prepared, and to accept the absolute necessity of flawed, messy first attempts. Submitting a project that is only 80% good, or publishing a rough draft, creates a psychological micro-victory. It rewires your behavioral loop, proving to your brain that you can survive exposure, and diminishing the paralyzing fear of judgment. True power and absolute freedom are never found in flawless preparation. They exist strictly within the vulnerability of imperfect, real-world action.